Hello everyone, this is Paula and we're back for the next craft with you, part 3. So we're just doing random crafting. After we made these little guys in the last video, I made a little bit more. Plus we made this angel. Do you guys recall? What did I do with my other? I don't know. I must have not made another one of those pockets. Oh, well. Yeah, I did. It's this. It's this little stockings were hung. It's got a journaling card inside. Just one that's ho, 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 and it has journaling space. Okay. Now, then we did another one of these pockets inspired by Crafty Cat. And I just put a Christmas tree on there that was poofy so it could smash down. And it says Christmas or Xmas ho 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 Santa. So now we've all done this a million times probably. Not a million. That's a major exaggeration. But I love using book pages. And I love some of the projects you can make with them. So this may or may not be the last time we use book pages during this July month. But the first thing I want to do is line them up. And I'm going to trim them. Now I'm just going to trim them by watching that I stay down beside the line. Now there'll be some trimming that's off because this doesn't successfully get straight. But the nice thing about this is it doesn't have to be perfect. You're not going to notice it once you get everything going. So at least I feel that way. Now, yes, it's not a perfect. It's kind of, but that's all right. We're gonna make it work. Now, except right here. It's got to be straightened up on that one spot because it looks like it's curving off the road. Okay, now I don't know how these are going to look. If they don't look right, we'll straighten them up. All right, so we're going to do a double pocket. No, we're going to do a triple pocket. And we're going to put this in the back, one of these sets in the back. I'm wanting to use the ones that don't have a full page in the back because we want the letters, the text to be on the front here. Now, what we're going to do, you guys have seen me do it. You've seen just about everybody on YouTube do it. Now, we've got to glue these together first thing with a glue stick. That's our starting point. And it's not going to be major because I'm just going to show you how we make this. And if we have time, we'll finish this one, but I've already got one cut out and inked so you can kind of see how it goes together, okay? Now, here I go. I kind of flipped this paper so that both sides look straight. See what I did there? Because this is where I cut and it wasn't straight. You see here, it's where I cut and it wasn't straight because we're going to cover this stuff. We're going to cover it up. Okay, so here we go. Let's go here. This is a Christmas story. And so I know the text is safe. I thought since it's Christmas and there's a lot of children involved at Christmas time that I would make sure that it came out okay. Okay, here we go. Now, we've got both of those glued down and we have one more. And we're going to do that right now. I always seem, like when I cut something crooked, I always try to figure out a way to fix it. And so what I did with this, because it was off just a little bit on that one side, I have decided to flip my pages. Okay? And it's going to be like this. Of course, you have to have the right page on the other side, and we got lucky because we do. One more thing, we're going to do a little pocket at the bottom, and we want to make sure this is glued down. There we go. Now, I'm going to fold this and show you how it folds, and then we're going to decorate one that's already folded. Okay? Now, how do I want to do this? Because there's no paper, there's no writing up there. We're not going to worry about it because this portion in here, the portion in here is going to be covered. Okay, so this is going to be the back. This is kind of the foundation. And then we're going to decide which one goes down first. And I'm just going to do one. I never even think about it. Some of them go one way, some of them go the other way. You guys have seen me make these several times, but I have never made them at Christmas. So I thought I wanted to have a few of them. I'm trying to have 2 of just about everything I want to have at Christmas. And so you line that one up there. And on this one, let's see. I want to do it this way, and I'm going to go this way. The opposite direction, you want to go the opposite direction and fold back. And so then you just put a little dab here to hold it in place. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, so we folded this one down this way, and we folded that one this way, and they're going to crisscross each other just like that. It doesn't matter how the text is on here because you're not going to really see that, okay? Now, and then we have this little half a page that I folded over that's going to go right here. Yeah, I got to cut it a little bit. Forgot to cut it down a little bit. So there you go. Now, we can put a bigger pocket than this because see, it seems pretty high up, or we can trim some of this off and make it smaller. I'm going to think about that. But this is how I did this. Now, what I did, and I'm going to bring it over here. What I did, let me make sure I got everything. What I did when I cut this one up, and I'm going to show you, is I stitched across every pocket before putting it together. Just a straight stitch. Okay, now, and then I stitched across this one. Okay, and then on this one, I stitched across that one. And I'm showing you this because it's going to make a difference. And on this one, I stitched straight across in the back. Okay, so we're going to have some fun here. I'm going to set this aside, let it dry a little bit, and then if we have time, we'll decorate it too. But with some unusual Christmas. A couple of them aren't unusual, but. So the first thing I did, and all you have to do to cut your paper to fit your little book pages is just to lay your paper on there. You can tear the edges or not tear the edges. I chose not to, but you want to leave your stitching. You want it to show. Otherwise, why do it, right? If you're going to cover your stitching, you could glue your things on and stitch afterwards. But I wanted at least a little bit of the book page to show. Now, I'm going to do it really well across the top especially. And I'm saying this because we won't be stitching it down. It's already been stitched down, right? The sides will be stitched. All around the whole outside will be stitched at some point. Okay, and you just use your glue gun. If you feel like your glue gun isn't strong enough, then I must have that backwards because it doesn't seem straight. And I know it was when I did it. Okay, here we go. So we're going to have to make sure we get this really glued right there. Okay, now, yeah, that's better. It's easy to get your paper turned around. Now, it's not going to be stitched across here, so this needs to have good tape, some good stuff going on underneath. Let me wipe this. I think I got it everywhere. Just want to make sure that I didn't get anything too sticky down there. All right, now that is the first thing we do. And then we're going to put our underneath zigzag or crossover, okay? Now, the underneath crossover is going to go right here. Now, we don't have to do anything on this outside. We're going to stitch all the way around it. We're actually going to zigzag. So you line up your bottom here and you make sure your sides line up nicely, just like that. Now, the paper that I used, I don't remember how I put it on here, so maybe it's this way. Nope, maybe it's this way. It is. So you're going to glue this and leave your red line once again, because that's just the safe thing to do. You have to remember that you're going to stitch it, and if you're going to use your machine, you don't want to use anything that's going to be bad for your machine. So now we're going to go like this. Line it up along the edge. Make sure it's down from the red stitching. Yeah, it looks like I got it turned around. So here let's try it again. Let me think. How did I do that last time? There we go. This is the right way. I've moved it around so many times. I want it to fit properly. You know, I worked really hard to get this nice and neat while I was waiting to do my video. I had to get some things done first before I could actually do the video. Okay, now, what is this looking like to you? It's looking like a snowy day. And looking like there's going to be a fireplace involved. Now we're going to take this one and cross over. You always want to make sure, usually I don't cover this, or I don't cover this. But this, since it's Christmas, I'm going to cover all of them. But people can tell that you used a book page right here, because it's very clear. Okay, now we've got a snowy mountain, trees, and cabins. Yeah. So I know what the fireplace situation's going to be. Okay. There we go. Now you want to stay under the red line again. And then bring it over. Okay. So let me pull this off. I don't want anything getting glue in the wrong places. The back of this would have looked good in a cabin too, huh? I hate it when it takes a big chunk out of your glue stick. It's because I'm a reckless glue stick person. I don't take it too lightly. I don't know. Anyway, so I'm going to line this up at the corner up here and line it up here to this side. And it should be real close to being correct, but it's still off a little. So we're going to go back up here, try it again, make sure. Yeah, see, and it's going to be, this was really hard to get straight on this one. I think it's because I did such a wide stitch. Let me see if I can get it to go up here a little more. There we go. It's not perfect, but it's, you could see the red line, right? Okay, so now we have it just like that. My thing I like about these is you can characterize them. And you can put them, like we're going to take this and put here and put a plaid throw, because that's what I would have on, is a plaid throw. I did ink all these pieces, so you want to be sure and do that. I just like the way they end up looking, you know, when you're done. Okay, so now we're going to come right here, line it up at the bottom, because that will, or should I put that way, should come out just right. So let's try that again. I never get it right the first time. Why is that? That's so crazy. Okay, there we go. Because I'm measuring it from the, I'm putting it on from the bottom instead of from this section. So there we go. Now, don't go away, because we're going to stitch this. And after we stitch it, we're going to do something else to it that I don't normally do. So let me move all this stuff. Oh, I forgot we have this little strip that I want to put right here. And I'm going to put it on before, but I'm going to use Fabri-Tac because, well, no, I want to use, not Fabri-Tac. Let's use a little bit of glitter glue, if I can get it to cooperate today. You just never know what it's going to act like. I'm not going to do too much. I'm just going to scatter little dots. At some point, I will have to stitch over this, so I want it to be pretty thin. There we go. It may not get stitched over till I know this is dry. We're just going to put it here at the top of this plaid. And make sure you don't, that you're not covering up the red lines. Now, the reason I used red thread on this is because I liked the contrast. And you'll see in a bit that there's going to be a little bit of red. But not a lot, but I just, again, I liked the contrast and I thought it would look good that way. Let me get this pin back in that. Okay, now I have a bunch of trash right here. I need to put in the trash, and then we'll get the sewing going. And that won't take very long because I did the straight stitch ahead of time to save us a little bit of time. Now I'm going to get some clips out. First, let's do the clips first. Let's leave that off to the side for a minute. We just want to make sure, let's start by making sure this one is all the way to the side and all the way down to the bottom. Okay, now I'm going to clip it up here. Okay, and then I'm going to clip it one more time right here. Okay, now I might have to move that up depending on how far over this goes. Now, I'm going to line this up all the way to the side, all the way over. Yep, there you go. Let me move my pin down just a tiny bit. It's kind of hard to do when you've got all your hands tied up. There you go. Now, over here, I'm going to flip it around. And over here, you want to make sure that you're still lined up. Okay, and we are. And we'll do one more right down here. Huh. You know what I'm seeing is, it's so funny because this journaling card on this side, or this log paper, it's the log paper, is sticking out a little more than I like. And that's the nice thing. You just trim off. Once you get everything in place and it looks good, if there's anything intruding on your project, you just snip it off. Yeah, it's all right. That's the thing about crafting. I'm a perfectionist, so I have problems with little things like that. I think I'm really the problem, truth be told. Okay, here we go. Now we're going to line this up across the bottom. We don't want that bottom to show. And it's going to be open and be a pocket for us. I'm knocking everything out here. If you don't clip it, use paper clips, use whatever. These are just clips I use. If you don't clip it, it will move around. That's just my experience, that it will move around. Just need one more. Really need two more, but I think this will hold it. Okay, here we go. Now let me put the lid on the glue. Don't need anything evaporating out of it. Let me move. Let me get this out of the way here and move this paper. Okay, now I'm going to fix the sewing machine, but I'm going to lean you over. We still are working with that same red thread. So I'm hoping we won't have any problems, like running out. Okay, so we're going to start on this right side, and I'm just going to move this clip down. And we're going to zigzag. Okay, I'm not sure that I want it that big. Let me start over with my zigzag. Okay, it had some weird number I didn't recognize on there, so the best thing to do is just start over. Oh yeah, big difference. Okay, so we're going to back stitch up here because I don't, whoops, we didn't even get on it, but we're close enough. Excuse me. So find my paddle. Okay, so we're going to go forward, then go backwards. It's really grabbing. I think it wanted to just stay there forever. Pulling that one off. Okay, let me move these. We'll turn it sideways. It looks like that part really looks good, so we'll just continue on. Okay. And I back stitched right there also. Now I feel like when you decorate them for certain holidays or even for a theme in a book, that they can be so cute. So I'm going to scoot this back and bring you back into camera here. All right, so this is what we ended up with right here. Okay, and I think it turned out cute. So cute. So the next thing I want to do is, I had some stuff somewhere. Oh, there it is. I had made my tag, because making the tag, everybody knows how to do. I just covered a book page, and I didn't want us to be involved in all of that. So here is the book page. Now, it's grungy, and I made a mistake, and so I just double stitched and worked out fine. Now this will go right here in this back section. And I just thought that little cabin picture was adorable. And then when you lift it out, you have the firewood. Okay, so there's that. And I know we all are dying to see the inside. And so we've got this little card, Warm Winter Nights. And I decided that I didn't want to cover any of this. So I decided to put it right here on this pocket, but not to put it all the way up, you know, because we don't want it to, but we don't want it to come off either. So I'm gluing it pretty good. And that Fabri-Tac just flew out of there, which is weird. It's probably because I just added glue to that. Let me wipe my finger off here. I hope you guys are having a good day and a fun time watching the video. I just love doing, I don't care if I've done it before or not. I like decorating my favorite things. And there's a lot of different things. I'm making sure there's no glue back there. And so he will kind of stick up, okay? Now, I did do up a couple little journaling cards like this one for this particular one. And just because I just couldn't quit. It was like, you know, we got snow going on. And we've got this message, happiness is the first tracks in the snow. Now, I can either put it right here, which I think I'm going to. And then we've got Let It Snow with this little snowman. Now, he can go behind and kind of lean over because we want to keep our little cabin clear. And you guys, it's finished. And I'm so happy and pleased with how it looks. Tell me what you think in the comments. Okay, so now we got the first one done, which went a lot faster than I thought it would. Let me see how much time we've got. We're just not even at 30 minutes yet, but we're close. So we're going to set this little guy right over here. And he'll be in view of the camera. Okay. Now, on this one, the first thing we want to do is stitch here, 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 and across here. So I'm going to put this little guy back right here while we do that. Now, I know we just got the camera. I didn't know what time it was at that time. So, let me make sure you can see. And we're going to zigzag. So we've already got it set where it needs to go. We're going to go across the top. Now, as I'm doing this, I don't back stitch on this paper because it's old. I'm just going to do a simple zigzag, trim it off. Now, some people probably like to stitch it after everything, all the paper's down, but I like to do it this way. And if it gets covered up, it's not a big deal, you know? So, let's do this one here on the outside. Oops, I put that in the wrong spot. Glad I caught that. Our zigzag would have been down here. Okay. Let me get it right where it needs to go. Yeah. I don't know why it did that. Let's try this again. Now move where you need to be. All right, here we go. We may or may not get finished with this. I'm going to work real hard for us to get finished. At least get it decorated. You know what I mean? I know you do. Okay, and then we have this one. Doing the same thing. Okay. we go. And that one's going to go right there. All right, so we've got that done. And, you know, again, it doesn't matter if you go this way or this way. Okay? I mean, we can do this one the opposite and see how it turns out. You know, you can do it either way. Now I'm going to stitch across the little pocket. You want the folded down portion to be right here because, you know, that gives it a little more strength. And then you don't have the edge opening. I do think it's easier to sew around the, see, last time I did a straight stitch on this part. Where'd it go? I'm trying to look at it. Yeah, last time I did a straight stitch. This time I did a zigzag. You can do it both ways. And I just kind of swap off. Sometimes I do two different things and do a straight stitch around or whatever. Okay? Now, we've got it sewn. I'm going to bring you back in to my table. We've got it sewn. And this time I wanted to use some paper like Christmas. And I found a few sheets that were paper like. Okay? And I've already torn around them all so you wouldn't have to sit and watch me do that. Because it is a little boring, I will admit. Okay, so I didn't get the tag done ahead of time, but basically this is going to be the tag stitched around, and I'm probably going to put some packages or something there. Okay, we're not going to worry with that right now. Now, I'm looking here, and this does have a few other colors, but so does the Christmas package paper. See, it has yellow. It has pink, it has blue, everything that's in here. And it has an orange tone, but it's not orange. And there's a little bit there. So I thought these would look good together. Now, I want the main focus to be right here. So I'm going to move my pocket and work on this one first. Now, we're just going to move this over and work on it. We've already trimmed it. I've already torn it all the way around. So I just want to make sure by doing this, just like this, I want to make sure that we tear it correctly with our ruler. Now I know right there is the end, but I still want to make sure that we're on the end this way. I think we are. I'll be honest, I don't know for sure. It's kind of hard to see. Getting it started is hard because I'm so weak. Such a baby. Okay, so there we go. We've got this portion probably done. The package are just going all over the place. There we go, just like that. And we're going to glue as we go this time. Let me see if I got enough off or didn't get enough off. I may have to trim it around the outside to do it like I want. And I do. And I'm not going to try to tear that little bitty piece off. But we're going to come over here and tear this off. I can handle that little piece. And then down here, we don't have to worry about it. We can just trim it because we know where this is going, right? Okay, so I'm just going to cut straight across here in case I need some more, because the pocket's going to cover this. Now let's glue this down, and then we can move on to the next part, the next piece to glue. Looks like I'm getting real low on my glue. I might have to grab another bottle. I might be able to get this piece down. Have you guys noticed sometimes your glue is blue when it's this same brand? Sometimes it's white. Let me get another one. It's right behind me. I buy this by the case. It's like 20 something. I think you get 12. And it's just easier than trying to buy it all the time. Oh, we got a blue one. Okay. So we're going to put that right there. So I'm going to try to get it as close to the zigzag so I don't have to cut any more than necessary off. But this is the deal. I don't really care that much about whether or not it's raggy on the side. I like that look, but I know with my hands I can't cut that little piece. So there we go. Now we've got this big base one down. Now we could put this one. No, this is going to be the one on top. I couldn't remember for a minute. So I'm going to do green here. And I'm going to pretty much do the same thing. Just lay it here. Lay it here. And then tear wherever we need to tear. Right here's the tear spot. Same thing we did last time, it looks like. And let's go ahead and tear this top portion first. I'm going to put it up on there. Hopefully I did better at getting it up on the right spot. It looks like I did, but you never know. Okay, now this is going to be underneath the other one. So I'm going to bring it up like, oh my goodness, can't bring it down or up that far. Yeah, the way I ended up doing it, I didn't leave myself much up here. So I'm going to piece that. I'm going to take a little piece and put it under there. Hopefully that won't be hard. Let's see. Let's do it right here. Because I want it to kind of go to a point right up here. And I know I'm going to have to probably trim the edge. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this little piece down first. While I got it all measured out. Come on. Okay, so we're going to go like this, put this right up to the top, and then we'll line this one up to that after we get finished cutting it. We still have some cutting to do, and I'm just going to cut straight over because that's going to be plenty. Why waste, right? All right, so here we go. We're going to put this little guy down. And I'm really putting up plenty where I want it to hold on around the edges. Whoops. There we go. Okay, here we go. And of course, it did get a little bit of the print off the page. I'm telling you. You want to go really nice and doing a good job, and along comes the sticky paper. Okay, but I will give you a hint. Don't rub it with your dirty fingers. I've done that before and was very sad. I'm going to go ahead and trim this part off so it doesn't get snagged on anything. And this little section. So there we go on that part. That went a lot smoother. And here we go. As you see, it's a green designed paper. And so I'm trying to decide, do I want to put this, I'm trying to find a really good red spot on here. Do I want to do this at the top or right in the middle? Can do like that. I'm going to lay it down and see which one I like the best. Okay, here we go. I'm going to lay it down. I like that, guys. That's what it's going to be right there. So I'm going to get our ruler and I'm going to go about right here and tear it off. And now what we need to do is tear it off at the other edge, right here. Okay, so now we're going to glue it. Some glue all around it so it stays down really nice. If you put your paper down first and then stitch, you don't have to worry about it coming apart. I don't think it's going to, but there's, you know, what can I say? I don't know for 100% sure. Okay, so we're going to go right up under here. Get it on there the best we can. Trim anything that's going to be in the way. That's fine on that side. So just right here. Whoops. I got a stitch. My poor little pad. I've not been as good as Gail. I've gotten it pretty... There we are. I have so many of them that I just swap them out if I have problems. Okay, now we've got this. And I'm thinking the other color, I have candy canes, which would have to go like this. Oh, that's too dark, don't you think? Or yellow. I think the yellow. What do you think? That's what I think, the yellow. I don't know, it's when you put the green up against that red, it's just pretty strong. So I'm going to go right here along the edge. Pull that off right there. And we're going to have a little bit of stuff, you know, at the bottom here. And that's okay. Okay, so now let's get this little guy on. Get the top really good. And the bottom and the sides. Whoops. I think we're going to actually maybe get this done. And one end is going to have to... we may or may not get it stitched, but at least you'll know what it looks like, right? Now, the reason I say that is because we've got to ink it. I almost used my sewing scissors. We still have to ink it. So, let me see how much time we've got as soon as I get this sticky paper off my hand. Oh my goodness, I am sticky. And my wrist is hurting. I've been wearing a wrist splint when I'm not videoing, but this is really what causes my pain. I have arthritis. We've discussed this a million times, but I have it right here. See how that's swollen a little bit? And I've been getting a series of injections because it's so fired up. My doctor, who used to be my boss, said, you know, it's not going to heal without injections, because he took x-rays and he said, you know, it's moderate or above. Yeah, there's a bone right down in here that's a rare bone. Of course, if it's rare, I'm going to have the problem. That's what I've decided. I think we're going to go ahead and stitch this before we, well, no, we got to ink the top of the pockets at least. Okay, just the top of the pockets. That won't take us that long. We'll just hit it like this. Okay, and we can ink around it after the fact. Okay, here we go. Some of them I get a bigger space here. Look at that. See, it's already trying to come off. I may have to come back with a straight stitch. I think that's what I'll do. It'll give it a different look. You know what I'm saying? To do that. All right. And then like this. I'm not happy that it's doing that. It's aggravating. But having one stitch there on the top of each page is probably the best thing to do. Okay, so we were going to use this candy cane for a card or a tag. I'm going to put it to the side. Move that paper out of the way. Move you over to the sewing portion. We got like 10 or 15 minutes. So I'm going to do a straight stitch instead of a zigzag, so we can make sure this stuff's staying down. And we're just doing it across the top. I may have to pause this. I'm expecting someone at the door. If that happens, I'll just pick back up where we left off. Just so you know. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to stitch across the top of this next one. You want to make sure you're actually on the paper. And now this is the way to fix this. This is my way of fixing that, rather than trying to keep gluing it down. You know, if it didn't fit, if it didn't stay once when I put a lot of glue, the chances are it's not going to. But it just gives it a different design. And I kind of like that, personally. Whoops. Missed the paper. Come on, come on. There you go. It's actually faster to stitch around with a straight stitch. So this time we may do something different and do that. Just so you can see the finished product. boy, we're just going to have enough thread to finish this. That's so fun to know that I've used a whole spool of thread and it was super full. So that tells you a lot, right? I'm going to put this one down here to start with. We've got everything looking pretty good. So I think, you know, it'll be on there right. Make sure it's straight up here. Now we'll go over here, make sure everything's straight, and it is. Although that seems a little bit off right there, that pocket. One more, really two more, once I fix the pocket. Here we go. Get in there. Okay, so I'm going to move this up. And I'm going to let this be right here where it needs to be. Want to make sure both sides are, if it's hanging over anywhere, that it's hanging over on both sides a little bit. It will just look better. This is a lot of thickness, you know, on here, but it works. Okay, let's get this done so we can not run out of time. I'm going to take that one off, and here we go. And we're just going to do a straight stitch. And I am, oh my goodness, that paper right there is the paper that was trying to tear earlier. But it'll be all right. We'll make it be all right. We're still going to do a back stitch and hope that it's still in one piece when this is over. My paper was getting hooked on my cabinet. Okay, here we go. We're going to turn the corner. Take this clip off. I'm glad the paper's, you know, it's not real old, but I'm glad it's old enough that it's soft when the needle goes through it. Okie doke. Here we go. And I have to tell you, I like the other one, but I just like when it's done out of random regular papers. And that one Christmas paper thrown in there allows it to be what it needs to be. Now, I was going to do this tag in this color. I haven't got it put together yet. Okay, I'll shorten it, but that's not so bad. Maybe we can make a small one down here. Whoops, I'm not even showing you. I'm sorry, guys. This is what I was going to make the tag out of. And so now all I got to do is ink around it, make the tag, and maybe make a small tag down here. Both of them out of candy cane, and then it'll make more sense. Or partially out of candy cane. All right, guys, let me see what our time is. Yeah, we're going to need to get off here and say goodbye for now. And I will try to do another video if possible. I know I need to do a flip through of a traveler's notebook that's Christmas, and I just think it's beautiful. All right, guys, if you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. If you have, welcome. And thank you to all my people that just stick behind me. All right, guys, leave a comment. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.